Hello. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Oh my goodness. I am showing up here in my coziest of cozy sweaters. Why? Because, first of all, happy spring. Minnesota said spring. What spring? It is currently 28 degrees, but that's not the problem. We're supposed to get snow this weekend, but I just read literally, like, as I was getting things set up and uploading an Instagram story and doing all of those things, an email came through from my HOA. And I've talked about this before. I love the emails that come through giving us the upcoming snow report from the HOA. As somebody who chronically watches the weather, because what the weather is doing outside, specifically in the winter snowy months, does dictate what I do when. It will, if snow is coming, errands will not be happening, things will not be happening. So I love that they go ahead and they offer this information to us without us asking for it. It's great. Um, the email I just read said, we're expecting 3 to 5 inches of snow. That I knew. I didn't know that that was Thursday's forecast. I thought that was Sunday's forecast. So we are now under like winter weather advisory tomorrow evening through Friday morning, and then on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. What spring? Why? Why? And I mean, I can't really complain about it. I can't because I have been spoiled rotten this winter. We have had like last year we had like record breaking highs just about. This year we're having like record breaking lows of snow. So I can't even complain about it. But I'm gonna anyway because Kathy's right. You can keep that. I know. I don't want that at all. So now, because I didn't realize, I thought that the snowflake that had been popping on and off on Thursday all week in our little weather app went away. So I thought I would have like tomorrow and Friday to, you know, like run errands, get groceries, do all the things I'm not going to want to do on Saturday and Sunday and things of that nature. Apparently, tomorrow after my healthy meeting, I'm going and making sure I have all the errands done because yikes, y'all, yikes. Hello, happy Wednesday. I am so glad y'all are here. Welcome to winter in Minnesota, apparently. And we're going to have a good time. Just so y'all know, has Andy checked in yet? No, Andy has not checked in yet. Y'all, my period started today. I have no energy to speak of. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning and I have spent the entire day sitting at my computer. The entire day. And it is not an exaggeration. I sat down at this computer at 8 o'clock this morning. I have only gone downstairs to eat meals. That's it. So it has been a very long day, but if you would like to see, if I did this right, if you would like to see what I spent the entire day doing, it is integrating all of my membership stuff, my email stuff, my course stuff, all of it over to a new platform. And the thing that I was trying to get done as soon as possible is a sign up for my very first webinar. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The link should be in the description box. It should be. I don't know. There's Andy. Hello, Andy. So if you want to check it out, if you want to sign up, that would be great. It's completely free webinar, completely free webinar. It is part of my course launch that I'm doing. The course launch is next week, and the first webinar is the official day of the course launch. But the webinar itself is free for you to attend. We're going to talk about 4 secrets that you need to know about achieving your goal body. I hesitate to say ideal. I've been throwing around different words because, like, let's be honest, sometimes our goals and our idealistic aesthetic needs to be modified, right? It needs to be modified a little bit because maybe what's ideal is not necessarily realistic, but I digress. That's not the point. The point is I'm letting you in on 4 key things, 4 little secrets, things that the diet culture area doesn't want you to know about how you can achieve that, or at least be on your merry way to that without dieting or tracking. So that's what the webinar is going to be about. You can sign up for it at that link that should be down below. Fingers crossed it works. I've already been told there's a typo in it, so please forgive the typo. I have not had time to fix that yet, but we're going for it. We're doing the things. We're doing the things. So now that my little announcement has been out of the way, Let's chat. Hello, Lauren and Kathy, Lori, Julie, and Grace. Caitlin, hello. Good to see your name pop up on here. I'm putting on my comfy right now. I just feel like being all comfy and cozy, as you should be. I think everybody should attend, unless, of course, you are working out or using this time otherwise productively while you're listening to me talk. If you're just sitting and enjoying, please be as cozy as humanly possible. Get yourself a nice cup of tea, a little treat, and your coziest pajamas or blanket, because if it were me, I would be doing that exact same thing. And I am kind of doing that thing to the best of my ability. So yes, hello, Michelle and Andy. My link is there is good. Hello, Esther. Where have I been? I missed you. Where have you been, Esther? I don't know. I don't know where you've been, but I'm so glad that you're here tonight. We love having our friends with us. Oh my goodness, it is so good to see everybody. Before we get to chit-chatting about the brief topic that I want to chit-chat about today, and if you have been in my healthy meeting today, you've already heard it. Sorry, not sorry. But I think it's important to talk about. But first, let's go ahead and share our highs and our lows for the week. For those of you that may be new here, or it's been a minute since you've been here, highs and lows is the opportunity that we give the community to be able to share their celebrations and their struggles with one another, because we are, after all, a community. And I love that we can talk and share and support one another in that way. So if you have a high, whatever the highlight of your week was, there is no celebration too teeny tiny that it's not worth celebrating. And then if you want to share a struggle, you can also do that. You are, of course, under no obligation to share any of this if you don't want to. And if you are watching on the replay, as I know some of you are, go ahead and share your highs and lows in the comment section. I would love to be able to hear from you as well, even if you can't be here live. And then we're going to share our wellness wins. So something that you can celebrate as it pertains to your wellness journey specifically. And then, of course, if you have something you're working on, what is your working on it? I would love to hear all of those things, my friends. Lori says, the dishes are done. I'm now in a cozy bathroom and PJs. I love that for you, Lori. That is fantastic. So while you guys are busy typing away, as I hope and encourage you to be doing, let me share my highs and lows with you this week. And I have to think about what my highs and lows are. One of my highs, for sure, well, they're all like little highs. I got my eyebrows done yesterday, and they needed to be done, y'all. And so I feel like $1,000,000 with virtually no makeup on, but at least my eyebrows are done. At least my eyebrows look good. So that's awesome. And then yesterday I got to hold and feed the teeniest, tiniest, most precious little baby. And it was just such a joy because another member of our small group has had a baby, and they were there 3 weeks old. This was like her first like big official, like, let's go see people outing. And it was to small group, which was lovely. And then of course, we passed the baby around and I got to hold her, and we're holding her while we were doing our Bible studying. And she woke up and dad passed me a bottle and he goes, here, you want to feed her? So I got to feed her, and she was just precious. And yes, I am child-free by choice. Yes, my capacity for children is about this much some days, but it doesn't mean that I don't love them. And it is really nice to be able to get that baby fix but from my family and friends. It's so nice. And it's always been so nice that like I'm cool auntie to everybody. Everybody's children, I am happy to be cool auntie. And so it's really nice I got to hold and I got to look at and coo and fawn over. And then I gave her back to her parents, and my husband and I went home child-free and came home to our little furry monster, who's real mad at me right now because she has been living her best life since this time change. Gracie's high of the week is that the sun is now coming in at such an angle where if we open the side windows of our house, we're in a townhome. But we're on the end of a townhome. So we have the end windows, right? The the light now shines in different places of the house that it doesn't typically shine. So I don't know what it is about this time of year, but all that dog has done all day for the past 3 days is follow the sunshine around the house. And I don't mean a little bit. I mean, she was almost laying on the kitchen floor. And for those of you that know my precious little diva, who is actually the diva behind Diva and the Divine, not me, her precious little bouquet cannot be concerned with sitting on a bare floor. It has to, at bare minimum, have carpeting. And so if you know that about my little diva girl, then the fact that I watched her slowly inch towards the kitchen floor and have her head laying on the kitchen floor while her body was on carpet because that's where the sunshine was. I was like, "Are you kidding me, little dog?" So that is her high of the week. Is the sunshine has been beautiful, and it has been delicious. It has just been everything. Never mind the fact that winter is coming. So there's that. My high was the baby and my eyebrows. My low, oh well, and the stuff we'll talk about in a minute. Okay. And then my low is what well, we had a couple. Aunt Flo is here and I don't feel great and I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but we already discussed that. So it's just kind of a little bit of everything. And then on top of it, one of my test results, and I'm like, I don't even know if I should be telling y'all this, but I don't care. Y'all are like my family, okay? I ended up uh, backing up the bus. Back up the bus. I went and got a whole bunch of tests done, whole bunch of blood work because we met our deductible and it resets in April. And my husband's like, if you want to go and get a bunch of tests to like check in on your health, go do it now, please. So I got together with my doctor and we talked about like concerns and issues and just like different tests that she could run because you can't just like run a bunch of tests without a reason to run them, right? So I kind of told her what was going on, how I've been feeling, and she kind of picked and picked and chose like things that she could put a diagnostic code with, you know? I had a million tubes of blood taken. Can y'all see the bruise on my hand? That dark spot is a bruise. I got stuck 4 times. And one of the things that the test results came back that wasn't great was my liver enzymes are high. And I was like, what is that? I don't like I maybe drink once a month and I haven't had a drink since like New Year's Eve. So what is that? Like, I'm sorry, what? Turns out taking an iron supplement can mess up your enzymes. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. And also certain herbs that you can take as well can also mess up your liver enzymes. So you have now been warned, my friends, that if liver enzymes are an issue for you, I didn't know they were an issue for me. An iron supplement maybe not the way to go. So ultimately, I ended up getting tested for more things. Thankfully, praise, they're using the blood they have left over because they took so much of it from me the first time that I'm still getting test results for tests that she's ordering now. And I like all of like the hepatitis stuff because there's like 5 different versions of that. That all came back negative. So now I get to go and get a liver ultrasound. I have never once in my life had an ultrasound that wasn't at the lady doctor. And so I was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do here. Like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know how it works. I don't know when I hear like this is new territory for me, which I think is really interesting. But the worst part about it, I'm not too worried about it. I'm hoping it's just a blip in the system and if I stop taking the iron supplements, everything will go back to normal. That's my hope and my prayer. But I have to not only not eat anything, but I have to not drink anything. I've been told, for at least 8 hours before my appointment, and the earliest that they could get me in is 11:30 in the morning. I don't mind the not eating. I went through a phase of intermittent fasting, y'all. I can be hungry for a few hours. That's not gonna get me. But not being able to drink water? What am I supposed to do? I'm gonna be real cranky and dehydrated, which is not a really awesome combination. So there's that. There's that. And so that's all what's going on with me. And then let's see what else. The wellness win. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still doing. And that's going to be good enough for this week because this week, due to hormonal things, was just a little bit blah blah. Oh, and that's the other thing. Because of my hormones and everything, the ultrasound and stuff is also giving me unnecessary anxiety. Like I start spiraling into, oh my gosh, is it X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, can you just find some chill, please? Because it's just an ultrasound. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Oh, so I like to do that to myself during this time of month too. So I took some extra CBD the last couple of days to kind of keep that anxiety at bay. Am I working on it? I need to be working on, hear me, um, stretching. Stretching, because I actually am having a lot of very specific localized ankle pain. The same ankle pain that I keep mentioning time and time again since like January keeps coming back. And this morning it was really, really not great. And lo and behold, if I stretch, massage, cup, scrape, do whatever, it feels better. So why am I not being diligent about stretching? So that's the thing that I really need to work on. I don't need to it's something that I do tie to a workout, but like even on the days like today where I made the deliberate choice because Aunt Flo was here to not work out, I'm not worried about steps, I'm not worried about activity. None of that. I can still go and stretch. I can put my legs up against the wall. I can get some really good stretching in, watching TV, playing with the dogs. Another high, I started rewatching Grey's Anatomy. And I am so glad that I made that decision. So glad. I stopped watching regularly somewhere around 2013. And so I know most of what happens to the main characters. I know all the spoilers, but wouldn't you know it, I started season 1, episode 1, and I am having a great time rewatching it because it has been like a decade and a half. They're on season 20 now. And I think I was watching live. So it's been a long time since I watched the beginning of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm having so much fun with it. So why don't I sit with my iPad on the floor and watch Grey's Anatomy and stretch my legs to prevent pain? Like, it's not about working out. It's not about calorie burn. It's literally meant to prevent pain in my body. And yet, for some reason, I end up going to bed and I'm like, you know what I didn't do today? Stretch my leg, and I'm going to pay for it when I wake up in the morning. Uh huh. Uh huh. So that is what I am working on, my friends. That is what I am working on. Let's see what's happening. Do, 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 do. I'm 1 year cancer free, Esther. That is the greatest celebration. What a great way to start us off with the high of all highs. Healthy and happy and eating the rainbow. I love that so much for you, Esther. Congratulations. Seriously, that is great, great news. My highs are very superficial, but I repotted a lipstick and started using a brush to apply it, and it's amazing. And the joy I felt when I saw the healthy meaning that my shirt matched my shirt matched my curtains. Hey, any high is a good high. Your high is your home, your low is you're confined to a bed. Oh, I'm sorry, Andy, but it is a good thing that you're home. So I'm glad that you're at least out of the hospital. It was a little ridiculous. I love when we find ridiculous joy. Like, it's so good. Ridiculous joy is just so good. Your holiday is here. I'm back in England. Mazel tov. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's so nice. A couple weeks ago during our church's anniversary luncheon, I spent the lunch holding my former boss's sleepy baby. Yeah, it scratches an itch that you don't know you had. And like, it doesn't make me want one, but it makes me appreciate the one that I'm holding. I'm like, oh, she's just so precious. And then the maternal instinct kicks in. I tell you what, I don't have kids, but I've got the maternal instinct. I know when to rock them. I know how to get them to eat their food. Like, I got it. I got it. I'm good at it. Oh, it's Peruum. Peruum. Da, 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 da. Got it. Got it. Got it. Rosie's here. Hello, Rosie. Good to see you. Michelle says, no, hi. My low is that my 18-year-old dental implant was bothering me. Oh, no. Apparently, it is failing, and I have to go to an oral surgeon. I only have insurance for preventative care. Another hit. Oh, no. That's not good. And I know that can be really expensive. I'm sorry to hear that. My high is I got my final observation for this year at work and I got great scores. Yay, Grace. Low is no matter how early I try to go to sleep, I always wake up several times. Okay, so I'm going to give you this piece of advice solely based on how you worded this. No matter how early I go to sleep. I don't know if you saw my Instagram post today, but it is very relevant to what you just said. When I went to a sleep doctor, back in 2015, 2016, he said something. He challenged me to do something. He gave me homework that changed my life. that changed my life. And it is why I posted what I posted today and why I responded to the fact that I've been up since 4 a.m. the way that I have responded. This doctor told me, because I'm very like, I want to get my 8 hours of sleep. I can't function without my 8 hours of sleep, blah, 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 blah. And I would get so worked up over not being able to sleep because I needed to get my 8 hours of sleep that I would end up sleeping for crap and I would feel awful. And it was a vicious, vicious cycle. And so my assignment from my doctor was to not go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning because it is better to get less sleep at a higher quality than it is to get more sleep at a crap quality. So for example, let's say you have an app or an Aura Ring like I do that tells you like your sleep score, right? And let's assume it's out of 100. It is better for you and your body to sleep for 6 hours or 5.5 hours with a 98% sleep score than it is for you to sleep 8 at a 66% sleep score. So, the reason I bring that up is because you specifically said, no matter how early I try to go to sleep. What I think might be something worth trying is stop trying to go to bed early. Stop trying to go to bed early and instead go to bed when you're tired. And if that's early, great. And if that's 2 hours later than you would like to be going to bed, so be it. Because let me tell you what happened. After that doctor gave me permission to stay up late and deliberately said, you, instead of trying to sleep 8 hours, you are trying to sleep 6 hours. That's it. Five hours, 6 hours, whatever it ends up being. Do not go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning. It took me like 3 or 4 days until I started getting tired at 10:30 p.m. It was the act of having that permission from a professional that all of a sudden like switched something in my head when he was like, well, you don't need 8 hours of sleep right now. And it helped me to re-engineer my sleep and get better quality sleep in the long run. So I didn't stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning for very long. But the act of doing that, it was better for me to go to bed at 1 and wake up at 7 or 7:30, having been tired and thus getting a higher sleep quality than me pushing to go to bed at 10:30 and just laying awake or tossing and turning or not falling into deep sleep. You get what I'm saying? So perhaps you could entertain the idea of messing around with it a little bit because what's the worst thing that happens? You don't get enough sleep. You're already not getting enough sleep. So it might be worth playing with. My wellness win is that adding protein shake to my lunch at work has made a huge change to my post-work eating. That is awesome. He'll be okay, Brie. I believe I will be too, Andy. Thank you for that. My low is just a continual state at this point. Oh, working on eating breakfast on work days. Wellness win is after 2 weeks of slacking, I'm back to movement every day. Yay! That's great. Good for you. And working on trying to get out of the low and selling my entire water bottle collection in the process. You're selling your water bottle collection? My high is that Ralph and I are going to Social Security tomorrow to get our retirement date in the works. I hope everything goes smoothly. We will keep you in your prayers and be celebrating right beside you, Lori. That is very exciting. That's very exciting. Like life-changing, exciting. Congratulations. I too need to work on stretching. I started jogging and walking again, so stretching is especially important right now. Yeah, why don't we do it? I don't know why, because it seems it's such an easy thing. And that's why I think we don't do it. We don't pay it much mind, but we really need to be doing it. Low for me. Oh, well, this advice. Look. Wow. As I was saying it, Lauren was saying it too. Yes. Low for me lately has been insomnia. This week, my doctor gave me 2 pieces of advice. Go to bed later and get a good 6 hours, which is exactly what I was saying, and wake up at the same time every day, even on the weekends. Yes, that is very helpful. I, admittedly, am terrible at the second one. I'm terrible at it. I want to be better at it. But with the way that my husband and I have been, he starts sleeping in the recliner and then he comes to bed and it wakes me up. I've just been letting myself sleep and getting the sleep that I need. But generally speaking, that is my advice too. And in the summertime, it typically is I'll sleep until like 7 o'clock on weekdays. And like I'll give myself like an hour buffer on the weekends. So like no later than 8 o'clock because we typically go to bed later too. But yes, that is solid sleep hygiene advice for sure. The tone of my voice, the angle of my better chair, the right angle to soothe the baby to sleep. Oh, I love it. Continuing to strengthen my hip post total hip replacement. I didn't know you got a hip replacement. I hope everything went well. I'm selling my bases. I'm getting one more neutral base and I'm going to swap the lids around. I still enjoy my collection with less clutter. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. I see. Very good. Very good, my friends. Well, that was lovely. Thank you so much for sharing your highs and lows. So I do want to, I'm going to pop up this for just a second. Go ahead and start thinking about, we're almost halfway through our time here. And what I want to talk about is not going to take the entire amount of time. So start thinking about your questions, your topics, your things that you want to hear your girl rant on about for a couple of minutes. And I don't mean rant unless you give me the right topic, and then maybe I do mean rant, but you know what I'm saying. So start thinking about those and get them all ready. But I want to talk to y'all about, and we kind of already touched a little bit on the subject, but the topic is the positive health changes that I have seen since letting go of tracking and dieting. And it dawned on me this morning, after figuring out what I wanted to share to celebrate with the healthy community as I was leading my Wednesday morning meeting. And I decided that I was going to share the victory in the blood work that I got. And that was, and I've talked about this before, whenever I get my blood work done, I have high cholesterol. And I can't say for certain why. Am I technically a little bit overweight? Yes. Do I eat things like butter and cheese? Yes, I do. But I don't do any of those things in like dramatic excess or anything like that. And so and I'm not like overweight enough where like cholesterol would be something that you would really consider to like be an issue to check for. It's just routine check. But my cholesterol has always been high. It's always been high. And every year I get my blood work done, and every year my LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, there's HDL and there's LDL. The LDL is the one you want the lower number of. Always high. And I sit there every year and I Google, because I'm somehow convinced that Google's going to change its answer. How do I lower my cholesterol naturally? Because I don't want to be on statins if I don't have to be on them. And so you Google, and what do you get? Stop smoking, stop drinking. Okay, not an issue. Lose weight. Okay, could that help drop things a couple points? Maybe. And eat a healthy, high fiber diet. Cool. Awesome. Same advice year after year after year. So the last time I had my blood work done was July of 2023. The exact same time. It must have been like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I think it was July 22nd, now that I'm remembering my chart. So at the beginning of July is when I said, you know what? I'm done with dieting. I'm done with tracking. It's intuitive eating for me. That was the beginning of July. I went to the doctor for my annual and told her that this was the choice that I had made. I know how to eat healthfully. I know how to move my body. I'm just going to see what this does for my body for a little while. And she was in full support. And she's a very not I mean weight neutral. She will address weight if I address weight, but it's never been something that's really been a oh, you might have this, oh, you have fatigue, maybe lose some weight. Oh, you have this, maybe she's not one of those doctors, you know what I'm saying? And so that was in July. And then I got my test results on July 22nd. Oh, and I always forget to turn off here we go. My alarm that says, hey, take your sleepy pill. And so I got tested again. And it's obviously not July. It's March, right? But that's when I was getting the second tests, or the round of tests done. And wouldn't you know it, 8 months, however long it's been, since July, since the last time I got tested, my cholesterol dropped like significantly. It's still in the high range, but I even wrote down the numbers. Cholesterol overall went from 222 to 203. And the LDL, the bad cholesterol, went from 158 to 1 137. Y'all, normal, as in not high, is 130 or lower. If I keep going the way that I'm going, I need to make less of a change from here forward than I did from July to here, like in terms of the gap, right? I only need to lose 7 more LDL points. 7 more LDL points. And for years, like I said, this has always been the case for me. My cholesterol has been high while I've been dieting. And I think it's very interesting and incredibly validating that the test, like the blood results don't lie. The blood results don't lie. And so I ended up with lower cholesterol. I ended up inadvertently solving the problem that every year I Google how to fix it. And every year I think I'm eating healthfully and, low calorie and this, that, and the other thing, and tracking my macros, my points, my bites, whatever. And it's always something that lights up on my tests. And this is the first time in years that it has gone down like that. First time in years. No tracking, no dieting, intuitively eating. And yes, fully embracing the word of the year, which is fiber, right? Word of 2024. The theme of 2024 is fiber. And so, yes, I'm being very, very diligent about the amount of fiber that I get. I've started eating high fiber cereals. I look at almost every plate and go, where is the fiber? My husband looked at me funny because after I had dinner tonight, which was a leftover salmon bowl, we were out of rice. So I just used a little bit of leftover lentils we had. I was like, oh, here's some fiber. And it had some salmon and some avocado and pineapple and cucumber, right? But I wanted a little something after dinner sweet. And the thing that I have been loving lately, and I think I told you guys about this last week, but is the Mission Zero net carb tortillas. So they're the little ones, they're the little guys, and they are all fiber. 7 grams of fiber, like 25 calories per thing, right? Per tortilla. So they're the little guys. I take that fiber tortilla, straight fiber tortilla, and I put Nutella and marshmallow fluff on it. And so after I had my dinner, my husband comes upstairs as he sees me just folding up, and I made the choice. I was like, I want sweet. And then I have been making it with 2 tortillas. So you get 1 tortilla, put the fluff on one, put the Nutella on another, and sandwich them together. And I was like, but I'm not hungry enough to have the full size deal, the 14 grams of fiber. So I'll just make a little halfsy. So I just took one and I put some Nutella and I put some fluff and I folded up, and he came upstairs just as I was folding it up, and I took a bite and I was like, fiber. And he goes, what a way to get it. Like, I got my fiber in my hand. And so, yeah, I'm eating things like marshmallow fluff and Nutella, which I still have plenty of Nutella in the house, by the way. I've only been eating, I think I've had like 2 servings of it in the last week. Serving is a rough term. 2 heaping spoonfuls of it in the last week. I am very much feeling in control around Nutella. That has never happened to me before in my adult life. So feeling really good about that, honestly. But the fiber intake has just been so on point for me lately. And I can't help but think that the fiber intake is part of the reason that my cholesterol has gone down. I'm assuming it's a pretty solid reason that the cholesterol has gone down. And I think it's so interesting that this is the stuff I'm doing intuitively. And mind you, intuitively, and I just put out a video about this, so I'm going to assume that you all watched it. Maybe you didn't, but I'm going to assume you all watched it. So you heard this rant. Common misconception is that when you let go of dieting, you're letting go of health decisions. You're letting go of fueling your body with nutrient dense foods. And like I said in that video, it couldn't be further from the truth, right? I am arguably healthier now, and the numbers freaking show it. The numbers show it, minus my liver enzymes, but I don't know what that's about. So we'll have more on that later. The numbers don't lie. I'm making better, more balanced health choices now. My body is responding in a way that is better and healthier and overall giving me less cholesterol. And I think that's bonkers, but like in the best way possible. Diet who? You don't need to be tracking to be able to make healthy decisions for your body. Your body knows. And there are some, I would say, guidelines, right? I would say guidelines. I don't live by a rigid set of food rules. I don't live by a tracker. I don't live by calories, a specific protein number. But what I do live by is the knowledge that I have. I'm a certified macro coach. I went through nutrition training. I have certifications. It's not like I don't have that knowledge and I threw that knowledge away when I let go of everything else. But I can look at my plate and I can go, like just today, I didn't want to make myself breakfast. I was just like, I was not feeling breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I was hungry. So I had a little bowl of fiber cereal and I was like, you know what? I think I've been lacking in my protein lately. So I drank a protein shake for the first time in weeks. I think the last time I had one, I was in Florida. Just because I knew that my body needed a little extra protein today. My body needed a little extra everything today. And that's being intuitive, I think. It's understanding what your body needs. And it's honoring that. It's honoring your hunger and your satisfaction. It's honoring what your body needs. And yeah, it's honoring what you want too. I mean, Nutella and marshmallow fluff stuffed tortilla, to tell you one thing. I also bought apple fritters this week and I've been loving them. I've been cutting them in half because I don't need a giant apple fritter every time I have some, but it's been a really nice like end of evening treat to just microwave it and have a nice little half a fritter thing. Um there's there's ebb and there's flow, but there's also balance to be found there that I know when we depend on trackers and plans and stuff that other people dictate for us, our body's intuition gets pushed to the side. And that is something that I have gotten back. And I've been able to much more easily and without restraint. Is that the right word? Without hesitation, without being grumpy about it, I've been able to honor what my body has needed because I have the freedom to also have what I want, but also have what I need. Instead of being like, well, if I eat what I need, then I don't have room for what I want. And therefore I get mad because I need to fuel my body appropriately. And that cycle that goes on and on and on. Right. All of that to say, since I have the dates are there. July 22nd, 2023 was the blood results. And then a couple days ago, Friday, I think it was when my test results started coming in for the blood work. And the cholesterol's down without me dieting down a darn thing, y'all. And so I just want to encourage you that it is in fact possible. It is possible, and it is something that one should consider when you're really stopping and being like, am I next time you're thinking about tracking or dieting or whatever, is it for your health? Because I just proved that you don't need that for your health, right? And if you want to track. I'm not here to persuade you either way. But if what I'm telling you is persuading you, there might be a reason. You don't necessarily need the dieting. You don't need the dieting. There's no necessarily. You don't need it in order to get healthier. And a lot of people will put restrictive diets under the guise of healthier. Is it really though? That's all. That's what I wanted to tell you all about today. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I see here he says Harry Potter. I don't know why he's saying Harry Potter, but I like it. It was all the way back on Halloween. Bonus to working at a PT clinic, free physical therapy. Well, that's great. Well, I hope it's all going really, really well for you, your recovery. I went from normal butter to cholesterol-free flora margarine, made it from 7.2 to 3.8 on my cholesterol level. Yes. So admittedly, I did ease up. And this is the, intuitive way to do it. Have I stopped eating butter and cheese? No. I'm just a little bit more specific about when and how I do it, right? When I have those pancakes, I went through 2 boxes of those Premier Protein pancakes. You better believe real butter was on them every single day. Every single day. There was regular butter on those pancakes. But it was the only time I ate butter that day, typically. There were some exceptions some days, but typically. And so I still eat those things, but I'm much more specific, much more mindful about when I eat those things. Kim's here. Hello, hello. Your Nutella story reminded me. Yesterday was St. Joseph's Day, St. Patrick's Day for Italians. And I had one of our traditional cannoli cream filled pastries in my fridge for 3 days and then ate half and was satisfied and stopped eating. Now I have the rest waiting if I'm in the mood for it tonight. Grace, the growth that you have gone through and the journey that I have watched you be on since you have come into this community has been absolutely wonderful. Your transformation is just glorious because you're doing so much for your health, but also your relationship with food, your relationship with your body, all listening to your hunger and your satisfaction. Good for you. Like mad praise and all the snaps and all of the things because that's really, really great. Asking Kim how she's doing great weather. So, Kim, you're in the Midwest? Is where you are considered the Midwest? Are you not slated to get snow? Are you are you or are you not at home? Because the rest of the Midwest, I feel, well, I guess it's not the rest of the Midwest. I don't think my parents are supposed to get a whole lot of snow anyway. So maybe you're not far enough north, actually. We're supposed to get a whole lot of snow in the next handful of days. Whole lot of snow. So enjoy that 73 degrees. I'm very, very jealous. Very jealous. I tend to go for cream crackers. Uh-oh, I hear the door. Oh, I thought I heard the door. Oh, maybe he was closing it. I was like, "Oh no, is Gracie trying to get in here?" See a little doggy just creeping on in. She does that sometimes. It's so funny because she doesn't like when we're at home, she doesn't really show any like typical dog signs that like you're her person or she loves you. Like I feel like I'm the lowest on her totem pole. But you better believe if if my husband's not home and if I was in here and the door was cracked open, if it was locked closed, if it was clinked, or clinked, latched, she'd be just sitting outside the door waiting. But if there was even a shot that she could get into the room, she'd sit there and she'd scratch on the door until she could get in. She does that when I'm in the bathroom. She does that when I'm in here. And I'm like, man, maybe you really do love me, or you just have very severe separation anxiety. Oh my goodness. And Gracie went to the vet yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever day it was. I think it was yesterday. No, it was Monday. Um, and she was just not having it that day. And because we also did her regular exam. So people were sticking things in her ears and whatever. And she normally like she lays on the pad on the table and whatever and lets me pet her and like and but just kind of like stays there and shakes, hopped into my arms every chance that she got. And it was like one of the first times I was like, man, do you actually value me as your doggy parent? Am I of value to you? Do you love me? I was like, it's so sad to me that I have to put her in a situation like going to the vet to see whether or not she actually loves me. Ridiculous, ridiculous. Idaho, I refuse to believe snow may get here. Are you supposed to get snow? That's what I was wondering. And I wasn't going to say what state you were in, but yeah, that's what I was. Are you supposed to get snow and you just happen to have a beautiful day before you get snow? Or are you one of the lucky ones and not getting snow? Because if you are, kudos to you. Happy for you. Sad for me, but happy for you. 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey, that's not so bad. 48's not so bad. Awesome. All right, my friends. Q&A time. Ask me anything. Go ahead and typey, whatever you want to ask. Oh, there was something else that was interesting that health-wise that I thought would be just because I don't know. And I know there are people here who have had experiences with more health tests and things than I have, but I got another new test result today. I get alerted by my chart every time a new test result comes in. And so apparently my doctor is still ordering tests. They're just like, oh, you have a new test result. I'm like, I don't know why, but okay, cool. And I got another one like 2 hours ago. And it was for, hang on, I'm gonna have to find it because the explanation I thought was really interesting. Oh, what was it? Immunoglobins. How about that word? Immunoglobins. Immunoglobins G, A, and M. And the immunoglobulins, hang on, I looked up like the definition of immunoglobulins, but I want to say it again. Immunoglobulins or antibodies are essential in protecting against bacteria, viruses, and fungi. When there is a deficiency of these glycoproteins, I didn't read proteins, interesting. Recurrent infectious diseases occur, as in the seen in the following antibody deficiency disorders, blah, blah, blah. Immunoglobulins, basically your immune system, right? There are different immunoglobulins, apparently. G, M, A, D, and E. Okay, I'm going to this website who is now explaining it to me. Do they have the M? So I got tested for 3 of them. A, G, and M. G is normal, M is normal, A is just low. Like normal is 65 to 421 and I'm at 62. But I was like, what does that mean? What does low IgA mean? And oh, it's giving me the molecular weight. That's not what I want. I think if I read it correctly, IgA is, here we go, the immunoglobulin test. Where is it? IgA antibodies are found in the mucous membranes of the lungs, sinuses, stomach, and intestines. They're also in fluids these membranes produce, like saliva, tears, as well as the blood. So I sat there, and what I read when I saw that lungs, sinuses, your girl suffers from all sorts of allergies and has for ages. But stomach and intestines, it made me go, gut health? Which I know is such a trendy thing right now, right? It's so very, very trendy to be like, I have the perfect gut health diet or the perfect gut health supplement. And it's all the rage among the fitness influencers right now, right? The fitfluencers. And so it makes me kind of go, ugh. But also, interestingly, because of all the stuff that's been happening with my husband's acid reflux, we've been really looking into, and I've been looking into gut health stuff and gut health supplements and all of those things. And I got reached out to by a company called Hello Gut, and not sponsored by them, but they wanted to send me their product. They're a new company. They're like, we want to send you your product, the products for you to try, whatever. And it has all sorts of like gut loving ingredients, probiotics, fiber, marshmallow root, and it's supposed to help with all of the gut related things. And then your girl was influenced. And I also today got my first shipment of Armra colostrum. And that's a real trendy thing right now, too. So you're going to, in about 30 days, you'll have a video of whether or not I think Armor Colostrum is worth it or not. But that is also supposed to be so good for the gut. And I just thought the timing of it all was really interesting, where I started taking the Hello Gut 2 days ago. And so this was my second day. First thing I drank this morning was my half a serving, because you're supposed to, whenever you're introducing something new into your gut, you start with half a dose, y'all. You don't go ham right at the beginning when you're doing like a new gut powder or a new something like that. Please don't do it, because you're going to be miserable. You're going to be on the toilet and you're going to wonder why you did it to yourself. Okay. So I did my little half a scoop and I blended it in water with my little frother thing, and drank that at like 5:30 this morning and got my Armor colostrum today. And I just thought it was so interesting that at the same time that I'm trying to work out and test drive some gut health stuff, I end up testing driving it on me because my husband's not a believer until he knows it works. So I'm test driving on me, but trying to solve for his stuff. And I'm like, of course I can benefit if there's something that really helps with gut health. And then to get a test result that says, granted, it's like 3 points too low. It's not alarming by any nature. But when the range is freaking 65 to 421, and like my other ones are smack dab in the middle. Like my other immunoglobulins are great. They're fine. It's just the IgA. And that one is the one that's tied to the stomach lining and the intestinal lining, aka the gut. I just thought that was like, what coincidental timing. How very interesting. Um, so that's another thing that I'm playing with, and we're gonna see how that goes and whatnot. So that was my new test result, and I wasn't sure if anybody else had any experience with immunoglobins being too low and what it meant for them. And if you don't want to say anything in the chat, but you do want to share, feel free to DM me because I'd be very curious to know. And this goes for the people watching the replay too, because I only know so much. Like I know a specific community member who I can reach out to about my liver ultrasound and things like that. But I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting. And I had never had my immunoglobins, to my knowledge, tested before. So I thought that was interesting. So you're safe from the cold, Andy, as long as you don't have to go outside. Going out is hard and staying in is not a problem. I have some anxiety, but I was going to say going or staying in is always, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Oh, yay! I love that I reminded you of a high when you said you didn't have one. Speaking of like nasal immunoglobins, ooh, the medications the doctor gave me really reducing the nighttime heartburn. I've mostly been able to sleep with one pillow, much more comfortable. That is great news. That is great news. Love that for you. As somebody who's going through it with a spouse who's sleeping on like 500 pillows right now, and I regularly have to smack him to roll over because he's snoring. This is why I haven't been getting enough sleep. I've just been lucky, and like most of the days this past week, I've been waking up and falling right back asleep. This morning, I was not that lucky. But as somebody who's experiencing that in real time, so happy for you because it really, really stings when you can't sleep comfortably. So that's awesome that the medication is helping you. That's great, great news. And what a high indeed. I love that. So what else did I have for y'all? I don't remember. I just prefer the indoors. Yeah. I like to be outside. I am not an outdoor person. And I am convinced there is a difference, Like I can be like, I love being outside. I love the sunshine. I love going for a walk. I love going to the arboretum. Love all those things. I do not want to go camping. I do not want to spend all day outside doing outdoorsy things. Like I think there's a difference. But it's definitely we were actually supposed to travel this weekend. We were supposed to go to Illinois this weekend. And now after seeing the email from my HOA, I'm really glad we decided to postpone. But we postponed because of Sunday Sunday is supposed to be the day that we get a lot of snow, like the 3 to 5 inches. Didn't realize we were getting 3 to 5 inches tomorrow. But so and my husband did say something. He goes, "Man, with my foot and with my food stuff and with the snow," he goes, "it's just so much easier to stay home." Let's just not go anywhere. I was like, "What? Do you miss 2020 that much where we didn't go outside to do anything? We didn't do anything?" So yeah, we had this discussion literally yesterday. My sister saw a thing today. If you could get $100,000 but couldn't step foot outside for a week, would you do it? Stay inside and get 6 years of cows. I would do it. I have to, if it wasn't for grocery shopping, and y'all, I have been leaning into the drive up orders lately. My husband even let me upgrade our Sam's Club membership so pickup orders would be free. And so I could also get into the club earlier if I needed to, because there's special hours for Plus members. Because I always get mad when I can, like, if I really want to, I can go to Target at 7 o'clock in the morning, but I can't freaking go to Sam's Club until 10. I was like, well, that ruins everything, because what if I want to get all my errands done early? But yeah, if I am not making the deliberate choice to go places, weeks like this notwithstanding, because I just remembered an errand I need to run tomorrow. Oh, okay. Sorry, it just came to me of like, what do I want to have done before before there's snow on the ground? What do I want to have done? Um, but there have been times where I've like finally left the house and I realized like the last time I left the house was the previous week to go get groceries. And I'm going to get like, unless I make the choice to like, and I try, and now with small group, it's easier because every 2 weeks we have a plan. We forgot about small group until Monday night. We got a text saying, hey, everyone's meeting at our house tomorrow. And I was like, oh, right, we have small group tomorrow. So we got out of the house unexpectedly, which was lovely. But without that, 2021 too, and even some of 2023, it's incredibly easy to stay inside and not go anywhere if you're not thinking about it, you know? Would I do it for $100,000? Heck yeah, I would. Heck yeah, I would. Nicely done, Michelle. I've stayed in for a week without without any financial incentives, right? Me too. Me too. The incentive was I didn't want to go anywhere. The incentive was winter. It rarely happens. So staying inside would like going for a walk in your neighborhood would definitely not count towards that. But like there have also been weeks where the only time I've been outside was just to go for a walk in my neighborhood. But in the winter, I need no incentive. Mark my words, y'all. Well, I technically have plans on Monday. We'll see what the level of snow craziness is to see if I actually go to them. But I technically have plans on Monday. But my full intention is to go out between my healthy meeting tomorrow and group. Are we getting together tomorrow? I don't even know what my calendar is anymore. Do we have a thing tomorrow? No. Wait. No. Oh, I have a meeting at 4. So sometime between the healthy meeting and my coaching call at 4 o'clock, I will be running all of the errands with the intention of not leaving the house again until Monday. Maybe later. I plan it in. So like it's going to be an extended period of time at home because of the winter. In the spring, the winter in the spring. Right, winter. Uh-huh. Small group just ended for the term. Number small group for the last few weeks. Oh, that's so interesting. We don't have terms at all. We just meet when we can. And those that can come, come, and those that can't come, don't. And occasionally we postpone. But like we've been meeting regularly since we started, not last fall, but the previous fall of 2022, I want to say, which is lovely. Staying inside doesn't keep you safe. I discovered today I might be mildly allergic to your job. Oh my goodness, what? I just looked out and it's snowing. Oh no. Oh no. It's starting. Y'all, it's starting. I hope against hope that all of you are able to stay warm and able to stay safe. I don't know who all is expecting snow. I really don't. But I know that there is a big, big storm coming for a lot of people. And I hope that those of you that it affects stay warm, stay dry, stay safe, go out and get those errands done if you can. Stay off the roads when the snow is freshly falling. Allow people to clear everything out. And don't take those snow tires off your car just yet. I was talking to somebody just yesterday about how she's been driving around with these really hardcore. Oh, it was my eyebrow lady. She's driving around with these really hardcore winter tires on her car. And she goes, I was just thinking about taking them off because I don't want to keep wearing them down when we haven't had snow all winter. And I was like, well, don't change them yet, lady, because you're going to be using them. So she's glad she hasn't changed them. But like, that's how close we were. Snow tires were coming off. Don't take them off yet, friends. Don't take them off yet. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. My husband brought me flowers the other day. He doesn't buy them with any regularity, but he always when he does it's a surprise. And he went and did the grocery pickup the other day and brought me flowers for being so wonderful while he's been such a beast with all of his food stuff and everything. It was very, very sweet. And he did point out he bought me purple flowers and it was lovely. And he goes, and I didn't buy lilies because apparently I'm real allergic to lilies. I wasn't when I was a kid, But there was one year at my church, my old church, the Lutheran church, where Easter Vigil night, I'll never forget it. I'm so glad I had my inhaler with me because out of nowhere, like after rehearsing in the room or whatever it is, I literally like could not breathe. And I had to do a whole lot of singing. Could not breathe. I'm like, what is going on? And then in the middle of the service is when they flip on the lights and they go, yay, it's Easter. Um, the entire altar was covered in Easter lilies, covered in them. And that was the year that I realized I'm allergic to Easter lilies. It was so bad. It was so bad. And now, like, they are, you know how, like, your body, oh, and she's still trying to talk to me. You know how your body will naturally sometimes be averse to things that are not good for you. Like, for example, I don't like the taste of extreme levels of monk fruit. Monk fruit is my body doesn't react well to it either. So naturally, my body's trying to keep it out of my mouth, right? Um, the same goes for Easter lilies. I smell Easter lilies. I walked by them in Target this time last year. I just walked by the flower display and I had like the most averse reaction to flowers I've ever had. So much so that I stopped and I turned back to see what I was grossed out by. And it was a giant Easter lily bouquet. I was like, wow, funny how the body works like that. I love the smell of flowers, but I walked by the Easter lily and literally was like, oh, it was awful. The body does amazing things, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Um, these are intense. Yeah, there's Easter lilies is something special. They're beautiful, but man, oh man. Um, I love the smell, but smelling florals next to, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. All right, my friends, I am going to let you go. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me and listening to all of the health related things. Again, if you have any thoughts on any of it, please feel free to send me a DM or an email because I would love to hear any information that you might be able to share with me about immunoglobulins and liver enzymes and all of those things. So if you've got anything, I welcome any and all messages. If you haven't already, go check out the link down below for my webinar because I'm really excited about it and it would be a real bummer if nobody came. So there are 3 different dates to choose from. When you go there, you will see the schedule booking link. There's one date that's in April, so you have to click to the next month to find it. But there are 3 different options for you. I've already been seeing some names come in and it's really fun to see all of you on my calendar. Every name is getting put on my calendar. I'm like, oh, that's going to look real weird real soon. But make sure you check that out if you are interested in signing up for the webinar. And I hope you all have the most wonderful, wonderful weekend. Please stay safe, stay warm, stay cozy, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.